is there just so much pink? Hi, hello, buongiorno, my name is Annabelle from Annabelle and Ben's Antics, and I quite like Barbie. Thing is, I'm just not a pink girl. It doesn't really look that great on me, which is just one of those things, but Barbie dolls were my peak of childhood, particularly the original animated movies, and particularly the original animated movies that were about half an hour long, and which you definitely needed to see. So if you haven't seen Barbie and the Rockers, either Out of This World or Rocking Back to Earth, you definitely need to, and they are for free on YouTube. So of course I am overly excited about the fact that there is a new Barbie movie coming out, and of course, me being me, I need an outfit to go and watch the film, and it needs to be damn well pink. Problem is, I have no pink fabric, so my aim is to make this vaguely historical so that I can join in with the amazing costume collaboration that is going on. Link for that playlist will be down below. Please check out everyone else's videos as well, and with that, let us go shopping and see what I can find to make my dream historical Barbie outfit. Okay, so we went to the charity shop and there was one pink bedsheet that I kind of liked, but honestly, meh is one word for it. There wasn't anything good. How the biggest op shop in all of Western Australia just had such limited options, I really don't know. So we now need to do a plan B, because I was going to start making the costume tomorrow, but I now have nothing to work with. That's actually really freaking annoying, and I'm quite pissed off about it, to be honest, but not a lot we can do, so we're gonna have to go look in some other charity shops and see what I can find. Okay, I do not know how I just got so lucky, but I went into 4 charity shops and 2 of them were rubbish and 2 of them were amazing. Like, I now have 2 favorite charity shops. One of them even had a cat and he was so cute and soft to pet, and I found exactly what I was looking for and more. So I have now got 3 lots of pink fabric, so Barbie making, here we come. And I think I might even be able to make more than one outfit, so if you have any ideas or requests of what else Barbie wise you would like to see me make before the movie, comments guys, leave your ideas in the comments, because there is no way I'm going to use all of the fabric I have on just one outfit. And with that, it is time to decide what we're making today. Okay, so this is the fabric that I managed to get from Barbie. This is from my stash, and the rest of this is from, well, that's from Save the Children, Save the Children, Save the Children, and then some random church charity shop. I have no idea what to make with this lovely pink fabric. I've got about 5 meters. Please leave your ideas in the comments down below. This stuff has the most beautiful texture, so overall I am happy. With the fabric acquired, I could finally start making this project. Now, what I had in mind was inspired by 2 things. Firstly, we all know that Barbie has had basically every job ever, but when I was looking into her various careers, the one thing that caught my eye because it wasn't there was a mechanic. Secondly, once I got this idea in my head, I remembered that Queen Elizabeth herself had worked as a mechanic in World War II, and with that all smashing together in my brain, I asked my mum and dad to rummage through the few things I had left at their house to send me this sewing pattern I found in Orinoco for a World War II mechanic outfit, and away we went. So the pattern and fabric were both ironed before I adjusted my pattern pieces to fit and pinned the hem onto the fabric. Also, if you want to fit a commercial pattern to your body, I suggest subscribing, as I filmed that tutorial while making both my Barbie cosplays. Yes, both, there will be more than one, but that's for next week's video. Okay, so I measured and then double checked my measurements for this pattern so that I could adjust the size, because I go through several sizes in my body, and I had the same problem with the blouse that I cut out earlier, but this is just insane because I have had to change this 3 times, always going down, because according to this I should be a size 18, which I do need directly across my hips, but my waist measurement is definitely not a 16, it is a 14, and it's just meant that I've had to go through this entire pattern and redraw out all the lines, and that is really irritating. Isn't it, girly bear? However, everything is now drawn out perfectly, so I can finally iron the fabric and cut this thing out. Thank God for that. The fabric I'm using for the overalls is this awesome pink denim, which should be perfect for a piece of clothing that I plan to wear when I'm doing the messier side of crafting. So, slight issue, well, I say slight issue, rather big issue really, which is that I do not have enough fabric to make overalls, which is what the original plan was. However, I do have enough fabric to make the slacks that is in the same pattern. It basically uses half the same pattern pieces, so we're going to put away the stuff that I needed for the overalls, only the overalls, and we're going to grab out the one piece that I need for the trousers, and then we're just going to do that instead, which is really annoying because I really wanted a good pair of overalls, but I just don't have enough fabric, and I'm not going to spend more money on this project because, to be honest, the most expensive thing about this was actually buying the buttons, and the buttons were quite expensive.
So change of plans meant that I got everything cut out except the pocket pieces, which I could not fit no matter how hard I tried. So I took the leftover fabric from the blouse and cut the pockets out of that instead. With that, I marked out the pleats and the darts on both the pants and the shirt. Using a pink pen, as though it was visible, it wasn't that visible. Before the next day, I pinned all of the pieces together and got stitching. I began by ironing out some bias binding and then sewing it to what will be the inside flap of the shirt. This then got pressed over and the bias binding top stitched down. Then we were on to sewing the two collar pieces together before ironing them and doing what has to be the neatest top stitching I have ever done in my entire life. Next, the back of the shirt was sewn before the shoulders were pinned and sewn as well. Everything was overlocked and we attached the collar, and boy oh boy is this going well.
So the blouse for this project is coming together surprisingly quickly. It is just gone lunchtime and I nearly have a wearable garment, which is freaking amazing. I might actually get this done, or at least done except hand stitching the buttonholes, by the end of the day, and it is looking so nice. Not to mention this fabric, like, I really wish it was in blue because I am far more of a blue person than I am a pink, but it is such a nice fabric to work with. But it looks so good, I can't wait to wear it.
So the shoulders were hand stitched on before it was back to top stitching on the machine, and damn did this come out neat. Once that was done, it was time to attach the sleeves at last, but
I am a bit of an idiot because I did not read any of the instructions that came in this sewing pattern because I'm clearly a genius and I don't need instructions. No, no, no. I just went to put the sleeves on and panicked because I wouldn't go in, and so I decided to get the instructions out, and the instructions clearly said ease it in. So I tried to ease it in and it was still way too big, and then I actually read the instructions rather than just looking at a single thing, and it's like run a gathering stitch and then ease it in. So I've run a gathering stitch on my sleeve and I've eased it in, and funnily enough now they fit. Whoop.
with that, we stitched and overlocked the sleeves before going down the edges of the shirt doing the same, and it was here it really started to come together. Then, to make it even better, we had to hem the sleeves and the base of the shirt. Everything was pinned into place before we top stitched, only just running out of bobbin thread as I finished.
Oh my god, this thing is amazing. So I know to look at, it's really nothing special. It is a blouse. It is the kind of blouse you would buy from Primark or Walmart, that kind of thing. But I made this by hand, and this has to be the most professional quality finish I have ever done. The stitching is completely neat, all the hem is even, the inside is even neat, there is no raw seams, everything is overlocked, maybe a little bit messily, but that's because my machine is still not quite there with the overlocking yet. The gathers are so neat. Basically this whole thing just looks amazing. The only thing left to do on it is the buttons, but I'm going to do all the buttons in one big hit because that's going to take a little while. But long story short, this looks awesome. I've pinned a couple of parts I may or may not get around to sewing it on the mannequin today, and I'm now going to see what more I can get done tonight before Ben forces me to go to bed. And because I can feel him asking for attention behind the curtain, here is a Sherlock. Say hi, Shirley! We all know that that ginger is the real star of the show. Now back to making Barbie.
Next we were on to the trousers, which I started by sewing the darts and pocket sides into the trousers. If you can't tell, I was batch sewing everything pink here, and yes, this will be part of my batch sewing video that you guys requested when I was working on Ariel, so subscribe to see that. A little history about this World War II mechanic outfit. I am Barbie-fying. During the war, a lot of non-frontline jobs were held by women. In the USA, Lockheed Corporation created Rosie the Riveton to personify the now everyday working women who were taking on roles traditionally held by men. She was often shown in overalls or a blouse and slacks, doing various jobs on posters to encourage more women into the workforce, and apparently that is what this sewing pattern is based on. One of the strangest reasons many mechanic shops and factories were reluctant to hire women even with the male shortage was because it was believed that the excess of vibration of machinery would cause riveton ovaries, which is a disorder that does not actually exist but at the time was believed to cause a woman to become sterile or even get ovarian cancer.
Okay, so we have what kind of look like a pair of pants. They are not finished yet, but I have just pinned them on to check the size, and they're really, really good, minus one detail, which is that if you look at the back, they're about 10 centimeters too big on both sides. I don't know why I'm surprised about this, because whatever sizing that pattern was using, it clearly was not very good. We discovered this with the top. Trousers, unfortunately, are no different. What I'm thinking to fix the too big issue is rather than just take it out the back, because there are pleats and stuff that have been sewn down there, we're going to take it out the front as well, and we'll see how we go. And I love these pockets. The fact that they're a different colour, I think makes them look really good. The top stitching looks utterly amazing. Will they fit my phone? My phone is currently under the camera. Okay, my phone is under the camera, so Does Ben phone fit? Yes, it does. Ooh, that is very nice. I was a little bit worried as well because this pocket material is quite thin, which is why I added the cotton binding around the outside, and I think that should give it more than enough strength. So these are inside out, but I have just done the fitting and I think these should be good. Once the waistband's on, they should sit up a little bit higher on me. And I mean, look, they're not the sexiest trousers ever, but they're supposed to be functional mechanics trousers, which I think covers what they actually are. So quickly just to sew in these adjustments and we will be good.
Due to safety and job requirements, for the first time it became commonly acceptable for women to wear proper trousers or even knee-length shorts in warm weather, as it saved fabric. As don't forget, everything from fabric to threads to buttons was rationed at the time. Photos of these hard-working women served as morale boosters for many of the frontline men. Some of the most used photos for the British during the war were of the then Princess Elizabeth working as a truck driver and mechanic for the British Army. She apparently insisted on enrolling as soon as she became 16 and was officially made a junior officer at the age of 18. She was featured on magazine covers, and fun fact, to this day she is still the only female member of the royal family to serve in any of the armed forces. Not to mention that when the war was finally declared as over, it was with the common friends she had made during her service that she snuck out of Buckingham Palace to party with and celebrate. And if that doesn't sound like something Barbie would do, I challenge you otherwise.
So there's no good way to show this, but I just finished the zip. It's a bit dodgy, but it looked fine. You know, could get away with it anyway. I wasn't too fussed. Pinned the waistband in place, super happy. Was just doing it up, and yeah, it's broken. Kill me now. I don't have any other pink zips. It's also like 10 o'clock at night, and I wanted these trousers done by the time I went to bed. So I'm gonna go rummage for my stash and see what we can do to fix this situation.
So we emptied my bag of used zippers to try and find something suitable.
So plan of attack is this needs to be unpicked. We're gonna use this zip. It is clearly already been used for something before, but we're going to take all the threads off it, sew it in. I'm going to do it in a different way to this because this was a nightmare and quite frankly didn't look amazing anyway. Oh, if I had any other, the only other pink zip I have is this really light one, but it is way too short. I do have a purple one, but again, way too short. So we're using what I've got, but quite frankly, not happy is one word for this situation.
I didn't film a lot here, as honestly I was very frustrated and angry and stressed about several things, not least of all that I wanted these trousers done that night so that I could decorate them the next day.
Alrighty, so the zipper has been changed. I am going to have to add a fastening at the top because the zipper wasn't quite long enough to go up through the waistband like the instructions say it should. But I have pockets and I have pants and they're really cool. I actually think, other than my overalls that I made on my vintage mini sewing machine last year, this is only the second pair of trousers I've ever made on the channel, which I think they look awesome. Okay, so fastening, hemming, and then decoration. Let's go. Pew.
With that, I attached a popper to the top of the trousers before hemming them with some lovely top stitching, which meant that we could at last start on the real fun stuff. The stars! For this, I took inspiration from the cowgirl outfit in the new Barbie movie and looked up the traditional Barbie star before tracing it out in several sizes, cutting them out of thick tracing paper to use as a template, then getting my pink pen and tracing them onto the trousers where I wanted them to be before finding this pink embroidery thread that randomly came with some buttons I brought from a charity shop ages ago and got hand stitching. Taking a break to mark out and sew on the buttons and buttonholes on the blouse, of course, and aren't these little heart buttons just so cute and adorable? They were Ben's choice, and I have to say I think it was a good one. With that all done, there was only one thing left, and that was to get my nice blonde Barbie wig, give it a brush, and put on some makeup, which is where I came across something rather interesting. As it seems, on TikTok there is several Barbie contour filters to make you look like a doll, and though I normally keep my makeup rather light, I couldn't resist the urge to experiment. However, now there is only one thing left to do, and that, my friends, is the grand reveal.
So, I love this makeup, I love this wig, even if the victory rolls do not really look like victory rolls, but hey, for a first attempt they're not terrible, and I have not gotten nearly enough hair on my own head to do anything like this. This shirt is amazing, however, slightly see-through. So the reason I'm wearing a polo neck underneath it is because if I were wearing a white bra, I'm pretty sure the shirt would be fine, but it is just slightly sheer, and I do not know where my singular white bra is. I'm really glad that I used this little flower detail. It came randomly in a box of buttons, same with the pink thread that we used for the trousers, and it's really cute. I kind of wish I had two, one for each side, but I think having them uneven is adorable. The little love heart buttons are so sweet and shiny. They go with the shirt very, very nicely, so Ben's choice there was amazing. And this fabric, like, I don't know if you guys can see the texture, it is just amazing. I could spend all day just stroking this shirt. The other thing is that you guys might have noticed I actually made the shirt quite long, and I did this intentionally so that it could go in my everyday wardrobe, because if I put it on with a belt around my waist, it looks amazing, and I am super happy with that. Onto the trousers, and honestly the stars just make this. Obviously the ones in the movie are a lot more detailed, you've got a lot more of them and they're a lot bigger variety. I think at some point I am going to embroider stars on the back of the legs as well, and maybe even get some dark pink thread and add some stars in dark pink, so we have light pink and dark pink on there. But honestly, they're just awesome. I love them. No complaints. Utterly amazing. The pockets are huge. I can fit my whole hands in there. I can fit phones in there. I actually wore these trousers out to the shops the other day when I was halfway through embroidering them, and honestly, they're comfy as. They're not the most complimentary shape. I think they do make me look quite large, but for practical reasons, these are going in my everyday wardrobe. They're really, really good, and surprisingly enough, I actually love having the zip on the back, so I think I might do that with some future trousers if I make them. Not to mention that, of course, these are like only the second pair of like trouser things I have ever made on the YouTube channel, which is ever. I've never actually made myself trousers before, so yeah, these are my first pair of trousers. I have one other pair of overalls, and I'm not sad that they're not overalls. I was quite upset when I realised I didn't have enough fabric, but honestly, these are killing it. One thing that I was really annoyed at with the trousers is that I didn't have enough fabric to do the pockets in the same fabric, and honestly, I think this has ended up being a bit of a happy accident. I think having the separate pocket pieces there actually helps to kind of slim the waist a little bit, and it's a bit of a feature thing. Also, how neat is all of this top stitching that I did? It is amazing. I am super proud of myself that somehow this blouse and these trousers ended up being probably my most professional job, which is probably because they're a lot less complicated than nearly everything else that I have been making. So yes, top and trousers get 10 out of 10 for being super comfy. Wig just looks fabulous, and I can't wait to style it in 1950s for next week's video, which, go on, let's sneak peek it. I'm making Milkshake Barbie, and this is where we're at the moment with her, and I am so excited, and she is also going to be this month's pattern on my Patreon. Otherwise, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to drop us a like, subscribe to see more cosplay sewing and vintage sewing machine content. I post videos every Wednesday, and if you want live updates of what I'm doing on my sewing projects, please check out either the Discord or my Instagram, both of which are linked in the description. I have been getting very, very good at posting on my stories, even if actual posting on Instagram is still beyond my capabilities. And as for Discord, I often ask for opinions like buttons, colours, just random stuff, so it means that you get to contribute directly towards my projects. So until next time, guys, have a beautiful day. Please let me know what you think of the new Barbie movie and what you think of my World War II fabulous Barbie outfit, and I will see you then. Bye!
And a absolutely massive thank you to my Patreons, Ganny Murderose and Kelly Nelson, and a quick reminder that all money that I receive from either Patreon or Ko-Fi goes straight back into creating these wonderful videos and projects for you guys. So please consider supporting me if you can.